Welcome to Teachers 20. This is 20 minutes of chat and inspiration for those of you in education, most particularly for the three schools the Creativity Academy are working with this year: St Michael's in Louth, Chapel Primary in Chapel St Leonard's. It's reading, it's tripping me. And St Helena's in Willoughby, all up here in East Lindsey, Lincolnshire, in the northeast of England. Listen, if you've got ears, you're very welcome. I'm Ben Keaton, and I'm here with Sue Belton at your school, Sue, at St Helena's. Ben. Yes, hello. It's very good to be in your school. It's very quiet today. What's going on with it?
Yeah, it's half term.
Half term.
It's a lovely place in the half term holiday.
Do you get giddy during, do you ever just run around the place shouting? Because I had that feeling when I arrived here. I thought, God, this is exciting. You could do anything.
Yeah, you can play hide and seek.
On your own? That'd be weird. And can you use the kitchen?
No. Which is why I haven't made you a coffee.
I know. She didn't bring milk.
So sorry.
I mean, really, it's a very low bar.
Yeah.
I didn't bring milk either. So that's
nor breakfast.
Nor breakfast or lunch. Nothing to look forward to. I wanted to talk to you now because you have a subject that you wanted to talk, which is the arts make children powerful, which I think is a great statement. What do you mean by that?
Just that. Children in education today have no voices. They are the voiceless. They are told what to learn. They are given a diet of busyness throughout the day, every day, throughout the year. They're not in charge of anything. They don't direct any of their own learning. But for when you give them an art form, so art will make them powerful. It will give them a voice, and they don't have that voice. It will give them an opportunity to be or say or do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, I know that you have a parliament that you set up, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And was the idea of that then to give them a voice?
So it was to give them some kind of control, some means of telling us what they think, because they are by far the most sensible. They are by far the wisest in the building. So yeah, it gives them a channel, doesn't it, to actually make school theirs.
Yes, you're right. Art gives people an ability to express something. What do you think are the things that children at the moment, in your experience, what is it that they want to express? What's on their mind, do you think?
I think they're acutely aware of what today's like. I think they're acutely aware of what the world is like. I think they're very in tune with climate change and the issues that are happening to their world, to their planet. They feel very strongly about it, but they don't have a platform, do they?
So you think that for them, art is a way to say that. Do they ever surprise you in the things that they do feel about? Do they have an opinion which is not their parents or their guardians?
Yeah, they do. They're very opinionated. So, Ben, I want to bring you back to when you launched Creative Academy in school last week, and you posed to the children, what happens if you mix all the colours? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
And so children said, oh, you get brown. But some children said, actually, you get a rainbow.
That's right. Yeah.
And wasn't that just a beautiful response?
It was a good response. I had an agenda. So I heard the response and I skipped past it. So I did see that. And that was very interesting.
You actually moved the conversation on to poo. Because you always do, Ben.
Well, I know it goes down so well.
Because it gets you a laugh.
Well, it unites the room.
You like humour and boys.
So, but just to finish your thing, yeah, it was very interesting. I suppose because I was laying out the second year of doing the Creativity Award in a school in St Michael's and in Chapel in the primaries there. We're in our first year there doing it, and they're learning the very basics. And I was thinking to myself, what do we do in the second year when we're teaching creativity, which is the purpose of the Creativity Academy is to do that, going to schools, teach creativity so that they're very resilient in their imagination, so that later on when they come secondary school and later on when people say to them, we don't think very much of your ideas, they're strong enough to be able to go, you know what, I'm pretty cool with my ideas, actually. My ideas are fine. Because I think that's really important. It's really important to have tested out the ability to make things and enjoy and love the process of making things so that later on when the doubters come in, you can sweep them away because it's a joyful life skill that can go on forever and it doesn't matter what it is.
And the power of the Creative Academy is that you came to school, I don't know, once a month last year, was it, Ben?
Yeah.
And you met with children in the playground.
Yeah.
In fact, you didn't get far out of the playground door before they jumped on you with all their creations. And what was just so beautiful to see was that those children had a voice with an artist, and it was on an equal footing, and you valued and made valuable every creation they brought to you.
Yeah.
Some of which was on a scrappy piece of paper that we didn't understand, but when they talked you through what they presented, there was an incredible creative story and an incredible creative process that went behind that little piece of work on a scrappy piece of paper.
And you know what I discovered during the summer, Sue, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking we should really talk to children as if they're artists.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting approach. If I'm talking to somebody about their art, I'm respectful to them. I might say to them, I don't know what this is. What is this? Talk to me about it. And if they want to, they will tell you a little bit about the idea behind something, and we'll treat that with respect. What I found is that when I'm with the kids and I'm talking to them, the thing I find so interesting is if you look them in the eye and you talk to them as an equal artist, they talk back as an equal artist. That it's easy.
They're afraid, or they were unafraid, weren't they?
Yes. And they will just, they will naturally go, oh, he wants to know about the thing. Okay, and sometimes my questions are, is it your idea? Did it really come from home? I'm looking for the source, not to undermine what they're doing, but I want to know what excited them, what inspired them. Was it that Dad helped? Was it that they were reading a book? What was the source of the thing that made them excited? Because now you're talking about the source, and now you can go, oh, let's take something else from that source. And I think that's very interesting. But that empowerment, and I found you're quite right, I go out into the playground as part of this process, just to walk around, and they would come running up to me going, Mr. Kate, and I've made a thing, and I've brought a thing, and I'll bring it in next week, and I asked them about it. But that excitement and enthusiasm, and then I knew that other kids in the playground who weren't running up to me were going, that looks quite good fun, that they're excited. That looks interesting. So the long game of being here over a year, which I think is such an amazing thing. Yeah. You have things going in, and every school does, and you get an afternoon, you get a session, get,
And I call that spray and dash. We had James Mayhew in, and he came and he read his books to the children, and he drew while he was talking to the children, and that was incredible. And they were very inspired by that meeting, but it was so short-lived. It was gone. Yeah. Whereas you coming in every month, Ben, and children on the playground did look and think, oh, well, I'm not in on that conversation. I need to be in on this conversation. Right. I'm missing out. That's right. And you were an adult that came in and mutually respected that child and actively listened to that child. In a busy school, if we're honest as teachers, does that opportunity happen very often? No, it doesn't. Actually, the children are listening to us.
Yes.
They're receivers of information and knowledge now, whereas it was such a reciprocal relationship with you that was powerful and gave them power because it gave them reason and an opportunity to present what they wanted to present, and we don't give children that in schools very often.
That's right. And I have to say, for me, because I've done a great deal in my time, and part of me thinks the other day when I came to the launch here, every time this happens, and the school comes in. And as they're coming in, I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing here? These are very small people. And the other day I was thinking, that person only learned to walk like 3 years ago. What am I doing? What? But the reality of it is I get a huge amount out of it. I get and also it's because I miss my children. That's the reality of it too. So there's an emotional connection. But also the reality of it is that when they are so engaging, because all I did was a simple trick of listening.
Yeah.
It's no biggie.
No.
It's not complicated. It's not hard work. All you have to do
it's
is
not
just...
rocket science, Ben.
No.
But actually, how many people do listen to children?
And I suppose for us, because we set up the Creativity Academy together, for us, I think that the need to see that art can make a difference, and then perhaps one or two of these people here or there might have a gift that would become something inspiring for the next generation of people who need entertaining. And
so, Ben, do you remember the mum that sent a message to you about her child as a writer?
Yes.
Now, we'd not discovered that. We'd not discovered that child's talent in school. In fact, if you'd have asked me, I'd have said, she's a mathematician, she's a scientist. Huh. She doesn't enjoy the process, the art and the craft and the science of writing. But suddenly she was writing you a novel.
That's right, she did, yeah.
And what did the mum say?
The mum said that she contacted me via Facebook, and she said, thank you so much for this. My daughter came home so excited, and she was going to sort of give up on it. And now she knows that she has the ability to write. And it was because of talking. And I made an assumption, because it's interesting to hear. I made an assumption that it was just something that she did and you knew about. And I just thought, I've just found somebody who's got an obvious skill.
Ben, she was one of those voiceless children who art gave voice to.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose so.
And art that was not channeled. So much of the curriculum is channeling children down one very short, narrow tunnel.
Yeah.
Whereas your brief to them was wild and open.
Completely open, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. I love the idea that we're not doing projects.
Yeah.
Because the thing about a project is it comes to an end, and creativity does not come to an end. No. The point of it is go again. And the skill that I think that we're developing, this idea of how much fun can you have in the making process, that you go back. My daughter Daisy, she does a thing, and I know other people do this, where she has a choice of all the entertainments that she could do, and one of them is that she paints. And she'll drag around canvases and paint in her travels, complicated, difficult things to lug about, for those times when she wants to do something. And then she'll paint for a day or two. And for her, it's part of a habit. It's the release that she needs and the engagement she needs. That's amazing. That's amazing. I don't care if there's a career there or not. It's irrelevant. It's part of her expression. Costs nothing more than the effort of doing it. And
so it's her voice. Isn't it?
That's right. It is. Yeah. It is her voice, and because I'm ambitious, I'm going, well, that's nice, that's good, it's decorative. I mean, what do you want to say, Daisy? And another part is slapping myself in the forehead, going, shut up, leave her alone. Which is another thing. What do you think the parents think of all this?
So we set up the exhibition, didn't we, at the end of the creative activity? Yeah. We set it up outside, so in our little patio area. And we got some children to come along and display the work. And then we invited the parents to come. And there was a real buzz. It was outside my office, and there was a real buzz. And there was lots of oohs and ahs. And I've never seen that, actually. So, and that was because the children were so excited.
Right.
So the children were going, look, Mum, look what I've done. Oh, look what my friend's done.
You weren't complimentary about all of the work.
No, I wasn't.
Well, it was brilliant what you said. You said to me, we've got all the stuff outside, and some of it is rubbish. And I remember thinking to myself, I thought, that was so brilliant, because it made me go, of course, it's nothing about the end result. I was thinking to myself, okay, so what we've got here is we've got a child who recently learned how to walk and talk, and we're wondering whether the hand coordination was going to be adequate enough to produce the likeness of a cat. Well, no, it's not. We are assuming that, very often I think we're judging children on what we think the professional eye would be, and we're thinking, do you know what, your spelling and your grammar isn't great. You've written, a 20-page story, but actually, the structure isn't really, is this something you want to do?
And that's the whole thing, Ben, isn't it? Should we be judging the children? I mean, when you first launched this in my school, actually it was called the Creativity Award, wasn't it?
Yes.
And there were some awards. Yes. There were some fabulous little rockets that the children won. But should we be doing that, Ben? Should we be awarding an extrinsic prize for their art form?
It's a good question. The reason why I did it is that there's also another aspect to the arts, which is that we have to survive in it. There is quality. And part of the Creativity Academy and the Creativity Award, which goes in the schools, is once I get the tap on and we have them flowing with stuff, you've got to say, okay, now you can do things. Now you have to do it better. It's not enough to do something. It is not enough that I can write. I've been writing all my life. I have to get better writing because I want to. I want to set the challenge higher. And I don't mind an award because I know that kids go, God, it's an award. It's a free thing they give you. And so I created an award which was a rocket inside a dome with lights. I mean, I was thinking, how would you make kids go, oh my God?
Yeah, and it had everything. It did just that.
It did just that, didn't it? And the whole sort of room did go, oh, I really do need one of those. And that's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do is put the pressure up. And also, it doesn't go one for every year. We gave out 5. And the reason to give out 5 was 1 was silly and 10 was too much. Pretty arbitrary. But the idea was to get the whole school going. I need one of those, so I will make an effort. So I agree with you. I wouldn't want, I've won a few awards in my life. And very often I've thought, I don't even know how I got in this. I got a thing saying you've been nominated for something, and I thought, I didn't enter the competition. I was just doing my job. Okay, fine. And now I need to win it because I've been told. So I'm not really in favour of awards in that way. Here I felt I wanted to create that need. I was cashing in on whatever that is.
But actually what we learned, Ben, as we watched the children through the year, was actually the reward was conversations with you.
Yeah.
That was the winner. And that's perfect because what we want is an intrinsic desire to use the arts to enrich their lives and to enrich their learning. And that's a whole next topic we can talk about, can't we? The arts being used to enrich and engage them as learners. But it didn't need your tacky awards. Sorry, Ben.
So rude. So rude. This is Teachers 20. It's brought to you by the Creativity Academy, and we bring creativity into the heart of primary schools, whether it gives them confidence and resilience, and we're there to foster it. And our teachers at the centre of that. So thank you so much for listening to this. Please subscribe, please like, and share the word that we're here for you to talk about subjects that you might find interesting. We will see you another time. Teachers 20 is a Creativity Academy production and is made with the generous support of Arts Council England.